Afternoon, folks. Welcome back to UndercoverETuk UK. Guys, thank you so much for getting back to me in the comments on that last video, the one regarding the woods. Crazy stuff. I did obviously look at other links and I found an even longer video, and I want to take you through it today, right? Because it just kind of leads off from the previous one, and it might be fake, it might be real, but I tell you what, it's flipping epic for a late 90s video. And obviously, those that don't know, there's a reason why he's huffing and puffing and hyperventilating or having a panic attack or whatever the guy's doing in the woods. There's a reason for him acting the way he is. A bit crazy. We're going to get into it. But first, guys, I wanted to thank people that have just joined the channel. If you've just subscribed to the channel, which is free to do, by the way, so if you're just watching for the first time, please do hit the button. I appreciate you guys tagging along, really. The channel's all about Dragon UAP or UAP in general. We, the public, can film them. That's exactly what this image is right here, guys. This was filmed from just outside my window here. Before we get into the alien video, crazy, I just want to show you one from Latchkey Hustle. So guys, John at Latchkey Hustle, I've done an interview with him. His analysis of these things are amazing. At this particular instance, I think he's at an air show, or this camera is looking at a helicopter that's part of an air show, right? So I don't think this helicopter's actually in any kind of distress, by the way, guys. Distressing as it looks, I think it was absolutely fine, and it was just part of the trick. So check it out. And obviously that was slowed down. It speeds up now to regular speed, but look at the speed of this thing. It's insanely fast, it's insanely quick. Just a flicker. Like I say, you slow it down, slow it down, slow it down, and you end up with this, folks. You end up with a real hockey puck or dragon UAP. And these dragon UAP move fast, they tag everything. That's why we should start filming the skies, guys, because not only are these things being captured, but they do fly with other objects, and they do associate themselves with the triangles, the saucers, the tic tacs, the boogospheres. These things are always in the same clips, guys. So if you see one of these, you're unsure on the main object in question, that will give it credibility right there, I promise you. So that's what I would say. Focus on that, guys. For anyone that's new to the channel, it's all about these recon vehicles. They are everywhere across our skies. It's incredible. Incredible how fast they go. Incredible how active they are. And everyone's capturing them. Well done, John, mate. Look at that. You try and record a bug and you slow it down that much, you're going to see every movement of this thing. This thing, no chance in hell. Super quick, mate. Well done, John at Latchkey Hustle. Right, guys, let's get into it. Now, this is the first video, guys. If you haven't seen it, this is the part where he finds the being in the woods. Okay, so check this one out first if you haven't seen it. We're not going to watch all of it again. I will just show you the first part of it. So this channel right here, now you know. Make sure you hit the button, guys. This was uploaded 7 years ago. Okay, not too sure when the first upload was when it was first uploaded to YouTube. I'm really unsure. What I do know is this is quite a story. Now, guys, the audio, at least for the beginning part, is done with an AI voice, okay, not mine. So let's have a listen.
Dr. Johnathan Reed, who claims to be a psychologist with a PhD, said he stumbled across an alien and its UFO ship while walking his dog in the Cascade Mountains in Washington. Mr. Reed claims the bizarre encounter happened on October 15, 1996. The story goes that Dr. Reed took his dog Susie, a golden retriever, on a hike with him in the Cascade Mountains. Soon after, something caught the attention of Susie, and she took off running towards whatever it was. The barking became more intense, and started to scare Dr. Reed. He thought that his dog was fighting with a bobcat, or something, and went running to assist her. He grabbed a large tree branch to fight off the wild animal, but when he saw the fight, he couldn't believe what he was seeing. Quickly moving, and vibrating, standing at about 4½ feet, was an alien creature with 2 arms, and 2 legs. It had grabbed his dog Susie and tossed the dog aside. The alien then pulled out some kind of weapon, and vaporized the dog. Mr. Reed then proceeded to get the creature's attention by yelling, The next thing he knew, the alien looked over at him with a cold, frightening stare. Reed's fight instinct kicked in, and he charged at the creature with the stick he had grabbed, and clobbered the thing over its head, knocking it to the ground unconscious.
Right, I'll just play you a little bit of the video. I'm not going to give you the audio because it's mainly just him puffing and puffing. The problem that I have with this part of the story is, and it's not really a problem, but it seems like it's missing a little bit. So he's the storyteller, whoever wrote this up and put the AI voice over the top, said that the gentleman saw his dog being tossed to one side, just been shot up with some kind of ray gun, right? Some weapon which vaporized the dog. And so his instinct was to what? Charge at the... Like, how close and how far away was this being to the guy? For the guy to have gotten up close to him to donk this being on the head without being shot with this weapon, they would have had to have been quite close before for him to have witnessed all that, for him to have pulled that off, right? Because this thing would have just turned around and shot the dude, right? For sure. That's where I'm at with it. I just feel like there's some missing detail there that doesn't really make sense. And also, this guy is in panic mode right now. Check that craft out, by the way, guys. That was the craft that was supposedly... And now I've seen this image. I think I have seen this before, but I never really delved into it because I just felt like it was, you know, just a story that couldn't really collaborate. Now I've obviously done some research. This looks very, very similar in shape to some of the things we do see. Even similar to the one we saw on the live cam just the other day, right? So, is it believable? Yeah, it kind of is. You know, despite the bad graininess of the footage, which back then, I think late 90s, handheld camera, it was never going to be great. It was never going to be great. And at the same time, I think this thing apparently, as the Dr. Reed got closer to it, it was giving off frequencies and disrupting all electrical things, so his camera included, which is why when he was moving away from the being and closer to this thing, the camera in the first video was really distorting a lot, right? And there was a lot of disruption to the footage. And that's because he was getting closer to this thing. So this thing was emitting something. Again, would have made no sense when I saw this back in the day. Kind of makes perfect sense now. And that kind of gives it credibility. Am I on the fence with this? Absolutely I am. Okay, we need to find out more. Okay, let's continue, guys.
After the shock started to wear off, Mr. Reed heard something in the woods that was producing a humming sound. He walked towards the sound, and followed it until he came upon a hovering black obelisk ship.
Okay, so, you know, looking back at the footage there, and thinking about what might be going through someone's mind, I mean... If something just turned up and evaporated Albert and Einstein, I probably would, out of anger, go over there and clobber it over the head, regardless of what it was, you know. You love your animal. Like you love your children. You would. And you'd also have a panic attack once you realise what the hell just happened, right? And I guess you would try and film it no matter what kind of state you're in, because that is incredible what's going on, right? So again, not trying to talk people around into convincing them that they're real. I'm just saying, in a realistic situation, your dog's just been vaporized in front of your very eyes by an unknown, and you don't know what else to do. You just know, all you know is there's an unknown there. There's an unknown there. That's all you know, and you've just lost your dog. You're probably going to lose your mind some way, one way or another, whether it be out of anger or anxiety or both. Me, I feel like Dr. Reed showing both. So let me know your thoughts in the comments there. Let's keep going.
Continue that on. We're going to go ahead and show the house footage too. Might as well get that out of the way so that some of the people who haven't seen this footage can get a feel for how compelling and powerful this evidence really is.
It was starting to get dark, and Reed needed to get out of the forest. He realized that this was a discovery of a lifetime, and he needed to bring the alien back home with him. So he wrapped it up in his thermal blanket and dragged it back to his car. When Mr. Reed got home, he put the alien into the large freezer in the garage. Finally Reed went to bed and tried to sleep. The next morning he went back to the freezer and heard a scratching sound coming from it. He pulled the creature out, moved it into his living room and unwrapped the blanket while videotaping the whole thing. After a few days, Dr. Reed claims he was harassed by government agents, the so-called Men in Black, and that they had tried to kill him. One day, Mr. Reed was rammed off the side of the road, and his house was ransacked and the alien was stolen. To this day, Dr. Johnathan Reed still maintains he captured an real alien being, despite his allegations being branded one of the most far-fetched alien discovery hoaxes on record.
So here's the thing. And again, it's just missing detail. Did he go back home, retrieve this sheet that he used to cover the body? Or did he have this already in his car? Like, I can see he's used duct tape, some kind of tape, and he's just wrapped. Like, this isn't a professional job by any means necessary, right? So, like, there's some detail missing, but it doesn't mean it didn't happen. It'd be interesting to find out if anyone managed to debunk this in terms of, did he really have a dog? Was there a record of him owning a golden Labrador? Was there a record of it being missing or gone? Was their family or friends able to corroborate this? Like, so these are things we would need to know, right? Is Dr. Johnathan Reed still alive? Who knows? Let's watch the rest, guys.
Yes, I'm going to talk about that. Now this is after he's brought this thing home. He was, as you can see in the forest video footage, he was extremely distraught. He was you know, having a reality check because he didn't understand what was going on. He was extraordinarily sick. He'd been vomiting for over an hour. He was dehydrated, and that's why he was wheezing and panting. Plus, he was in a higher altitude, so the oxygen was thinner up where he was at. So he's running around the forest. He's dehydrated. He's sick. Well, he wrapped this thing up and decided he was going to try to hide it. Before he knew it, he was back to his car, and he ended up bringing it home with him. And this is a short time later, he decided that he was going to document it. Because he made some phone calls to some friends, and nobody had called him back. Curiosity got the best of him. He came home, got cleaned up, and then went and got this back out of the freezer that he had put it in his garage because he was afraid it would decompose. And now he's going to do a little physical examination on his own. He's either extremely brave or extremely stupid, I don't know which. At this point, he actually thought it was dead. So we'll learn later that it wasn't dead. This is the thermal blanket he wrapped it up in, and he had some straps he had wrapped around it that he'd taken off his backpack. Yes, see, he is blinking. Now, he didn't actually see it blinking when he was recording this. He was looking through his viewfinder in his camcorder, which was a black and white viewfinder. It was about 1 inch square, and that eyeball probably represented about 2 or 3 pixels in that display. So it would have been very difficult to see. Pardon? I can't. The creature was approximately 4 to 4.5 feet tall. He measured it. I don't know the exact number. I think he said 4 feet tall, 4.5. It weighed about 40 to 50 pounds. Extremely light. It was wearing a black one-piece suit that covered its hands and feet seamlessly. There appeared to be no seams or buttons or zippers or anything. It just appeared to be totally around it. As you can see, it's kind of a turtleneck, so to speak. It's kind of a long neck.
Right, first off, that is Earthworm feckin' Jim. Look at it. Long neck. And I noticed as well that the black suit, it's jet black like it's craft. Jet black, like if this was up in the night sky, you wouldn't see it. I mean, not the alien flying around, but the craft itself. And that would kind of go for it being on the ground as well. If that was stood in the jet black, you would not see that. Let's keep going.
Well, we didn't have him medically examined, but I would say he had to. He had quite a headache, and you'll see that later on. He actually, you know, well, some people don't know the story, so let me quickly recap after this video segment plays. How the creature actually got in this state is an interesting story all by itself. You watch the eye there as it kind of opens as he turns its head. He was a little out of it at that point, I would say. Now the noises that you're hearing here, those are coming from the creature. Now he thought that as he was moving its neck that air was just escaping from the lungs, and he just wrote it off as, you know, just this creature was still dead. Now he's kind of opening the eye there and just to examine it. He's filming with one hand and moving it around with his other, so it's kind of hard. You can see him kind of feeling out there because his distance perspective is a little off looking through the camcorder. Here's what? Yeah, there is some blood up by the head. Oh, it was red.
3 fingers.
And I assume that it was probably red.
I'm not too sure about that motion. I think he's trying to say 3 fingers, right? Don't take all the message in there as literal. Okay.
Can somebody repeat that question for me up front? No, this is the same footage that we showed. I'm just showing this so that other people who haven't seen it can see it.
That is crazy.
Some people may not have a good recollection of all the footage. Now, this is the same footage. Okay, you win. I can argue. This was filmed in October of 1996.
Well, he actually got some focus. So this was filmed in October of 1996. Right?
October of 1996.
You can see there the mouth, the eyes.
Now, he actually had the encounter on October 15th. This is sometime that evening, late that night. Okay. Yes. This is not the original. This is a copy of the original. The actual original, I believe, was stolen. This copy happened to have been sent off.
Completely opened his head up.
Or a friend, I'm not sure which, and that's how he ended up still having it.
I'll tell you what, guys. Back in 1996, this would be hard to
that
fake.
Noise came from the creature again.
It really would. No.
Yes, he actually has this camcorder. At some points, he has it duct taped to a ladder. At other points, he has it sitting on top of a box. Of course, you can't see that because it's sitting on top of it or duct taped to it. That's the wound, and you can see that's a pretty severe wound.
Yeah.
It actually breached the skull when he hit this creature with a tree branch. It was attacking his dog. It killed his dog. He reacted instinctively he had a tree branch already in his hand, and he swung it and hit the creature, knocking it down. The remains of his dog was white powder, and I'm going to show you that later on. There were no remains that you could just pick up. I mean, it was powder. Now, I'm not sure he had any interest in really in getting that. That came from the creature too.
Hear that noise coming from it then.
Okay, I think you can stop the video at that point. You can see the whole body is there and everything. So, you know, some people say it was just a head at one point.
So my next question, my last question would be, what happened to the device and the weapon? Did he not pat him down and find it? Or did he not look for it in the woods after he donks him on the head? What happened to the device? You know? That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy, guys. I've got obviously questions. You know, I'm not going to say it's definitive, that's real. Can't say none of that. I'm just saying there's parts of the story and a part of the detail missing, which I'd love to know. And it's the closest thing we've got from the 90s of potentially an ET, right, on camera. Sounds like he was somewhere in the middle of nowhere, high elevation, alone. Would be safe to say there wouldn't have been many people round. I would have done something similar. I think if evaporated my dog, I probably would have donked it on the head, brought it home. What happens after that? Who knows, guys? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Craziness. What a picture. Guys, let me know all your thoughts in the comments, all of it. Let me know if you think it's real, if you think it's fake. Let me know what question you think would be worth asking regarding that piece of footage. With that said, like and subscribe. Thank you so much for your support, guys. Tomorrow I'm going to go over more of the public's evidence because you guys have got some absolute bangers. Got one from Jerry over in Scotland, got some from MB over in Northern Ireland, got some stuff in the US that I want to show you as well. So folks, thank you so much, take care, all the best, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye for now.